Hello everybody, this is Dr. Novak. I was sent this aqua pump and it was sent to me to try it out, see how it compared to some of the other pumps I have. And the reason I'm doing this video is because most people who build a plenum need an air pump. And I have several different air pumps. This is your Tetras. This is a Tetra 10. This is a Tetra 10-30. This is an Aqua 5 watt AQ-012-5 watt. This is an Eheim 400. And this is an Azu non-stop air pump. And so I'm going to go through these and we're going to compare them and do a listening test with a sound level meter. And we're going to see which one's loud and which one is not loud. But first of all, we'll get into this Aqua right here. This was sent to me and it's a nice little pump. It's much like these Tetra pumps, but it's like this Tetra 10-30. This Tetra 10-30 is 3.1 watts. This is 3.1 watts. And this, let's see, the 10 Tetra is 1.5 watts. So these are low output pumps. And let's see, the Eheim is 4 watts. So this big Eheim is 4 watts, and this is 5 watts. So these are pumps that just about everybody's going to want to buy for their aquariums. And if you have a plenum, these are one of the pumps you have a choice from, being small to the Aqua. And the Aqua comes with airline hosing and 2 air stones. And that's about it that comes into with the Aqua. The Aqua is a little different than the other pumps, all these pumps that you see here. And why it's different is, I would say this pump is more of what comes into the 21st century, because this is a smart pump. Now, as we all know, air pumps, just you plug them in, they produce air, and that's about the end of all these pumps, except for this Azu. And this Azu I bought in 2006. It's a non-stop air pump. Well, what it is a battery-operated air pump. And there is a replacement pump for Azu. You cannot buy Azu anymore. This particular pump, I think it's called Deep Blue Professional. It's the same pump. And somebody else makes it. It's called Deep Blue Professional. And the reason I'm not going to dwell on this pump is because it costs $130 for this battery backup pump. It uses a 6-volt battery or 4 D-size batteries, and it's rechargeable. And I bought these because of the fact that they were battery backup pumps. And back in the day, in 2006, this is about the only pump you could buy was that Azu. Like I said, they still make it, but at $130, I don't think too many people are going to be interested in that. What we're going to be interested in, excuse me, is these pumps right here. And more than likely, we're not going to be too interested in this bigger Eheim, though it has plenty of air, is because we don't need it. And the trouble with this Tetra has 1 outlet, this has 1 outlet, and the Aqua has 2 outlets, which is good because let's say you got a big tank and you got a 150 gallon, 125 gallon, 250 gallon, and you make a plenum. and you have 2 plates, this will run each plate, this one pump. You don't have to buy any more pumps. You don't have to buy 2 pumps. You just buy this one and it'll give you enough power to run both plates. Since we don't need a lot of air, this puts out more than enough air for 2 plates. The pump comes with something that's a little different. Right here is a USB port, and it comes with a USB charging cable. I contacted AQQA about the charging cable here, and I said, you know, you really should give a longer cable. This is not long enough. Should be about 2 foot longer, or to match up with some of the electric cord pumps. This should match up. You can buy these cables, of course, from any of your electronic stores. You can buy them at even hardware store sells these. Walmart sells them. And this is just your normal wall wart. This one is 0.4 amps, 5 volt. But, so this is no different than the Apple, the small Apple one, whatever. And it's no wider than a normal plug. So it's not going to take any more room up than a normal square plug if you plug it in. But I plugged this into this one. This is a Samsung wall wart, and it worked just fine. So this pump will run, technically it will run in your car. If you plug it into a USB, it will run in your car. It will run in just about anywhere you want it to run. That's one negative I find of it. The pump itself is heavier than you think. It's not as heavy as this. It's comparable to this pump. This would be the Tetra 10. So it's comparable in weight to this. So it's no heavier. This is a bigger pump. This is a little overkill for a plenum. You don't need something like this. You don't need the Eheim. That's too big. So basically you're going to want the smaller pumps. But I thought I would do a test of all the pumps that we have here. There's a few things about this pump though. When you want to plug it in, you undo this and you just plug it in like you would any cell phone. And then you plug it into a socket. And it begins running. The little lines here tell you a few different things. Like I said, these are just air pumps. They've been making these forever. But it's about time people start making what I call smart air pumps. This is a smart air pump. It's not called that, but I'm calling it because of the reason is you'll find out. Well, one thing, it's got the little lights that indicate a few controls that it's able to do. For one thing, the pump can be turned off. No, the other pumps, if you want to do anything with the aquarium and you wish to turn the pump off, you have to yank the plug out. With this one, it comes with on-off switch, which is nice. I don't know why the rest of them don't come with an on-off switch, but at least then you can reach in the bottom of your cabinet and you could just press a button if you want it on or off. There's another little thing that you can do with this pump is you can turn it on and it will run continuously. But if you hit it again, it shuts down. 10 seconds later, it will start back up again. So if you're running a plenum and you think you're giving it too much air, you can put on the intermediate and it will actually, see, turn off and turn on. It shuts down for 10 seconds, turns on for 10 seconds. Now you're guaranteed you're not going to pump too much air into your plenum, to move water. If you're not sure of what you're doing, it's better to be safe than sorry. These, once you plug them in, they run and that's it. Plus it helps it be a little quieter. And you can run it on intermediate because of the fact you're running a plenum. So it runs, it's moving the water right now, and if it shuts down, fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Then you can move water again, shut down. Remember, we are trying to, with our plenums, move water slowly to build up the facultative bacteria. We're not trying to build up the heterotrophic bacteria that we use in the old days when we had undergravel filters. So this works out perfect for that. Compared to the other ones, you get what you get. Now this one will have different air outlets, okay, that you can turn if you want it on high and low. And it does accept two. But to intermittent like that is kind of nice. You can also shut it off, which is nice also. I don't know why they don't put on-off switches on air pumps. What's the big deal? They do it here. Nobody else does it. And this costs no more than these. So you can turn it on in continuous duty. But the big thing about this that I like compared to this big bulky Azu, this is a big, I wonder if I can open this up. Let me see. Yeah, it's too hard. Anyhow, this has a big 6-volt battery in it. It's a big, thick battery, and I think that if you have it on high, it will last 12 hours. See, it's running right now. Let me turn this off. It's running right now on high. If you have it on low, it goes intermittent. So it'll run, shut down, run, shut down. And it's a rechargeable battery in here, but this thing's very, very heavy. Another maker makes it. It looks exactly like this. It's called a Deep Blue Professional. And at $130, I think that's just a little bit too much. The other thing about this pump is it comes with a clip. Now, I don't know about this clip. This clip, I guess you can use it as a hanging clip. You can put it on your belt. I wouldn't. It's got these rubber tips, so it's kind of not really useful for a belt. It's got it so you can put a hook in it and hook it up, which these don't have. These you got to set down, but this you can actually hang. And let me see. Yeah. Eheim does the same thing. They got a hanger on here. So you can hang the Eheim and it doesn't have to sit flat. Same thing with this. You could use this to hook it on your belt, or you can use that to hang it. But the thing about this pump, too, is you can unplug it, and let's say the power goes out. It's a battery-operated pump with a lithium-ion battery. The Azu pump is not a lithium-ion battery. This has a lithium-ion battery. This, if the electricity goes out, automatically turns on, and it will pump 10 to 12 hours. So this will pump as long as that Azu pump will pump, as far as time-wise. And if you have it on intermittent, it will pump 14 to 16 hours. So if you have it on continuous duty, if your electric goes out, this is great. It's no bigger than this or no bigger than this. And all I know is 10 to 12 hours is more than enough. When I lived in Chicago, Illinois, every summer our electric would go out. That's guaranteed. And if you're at work and electric goes out, it could be out for 3 hours. It could be out for 5 or 6 hours. And the good thing of it is they got the power back up again. But during the meantime, your aquarium stops. The thing this is good for is if you have goldfish and you're using a plenum. Let's say you have mubunas, African cichlids, your tank is overcrowded. If you're using a tank that has heavy body fish in it, like Oscars, especially goldfish, and you have a tendency in your house that the electric goes out, this automatically will take over, at least oxygenate your aquarium until you can get home from work. And literally, if you think about it, you could recharge this up from your automobile by plugging this into your automobile, and it will charge up. It's also portable, that if you want to pick up fish, which I do have pumps that run by battery. When I used to pick up koi, I would bring those pumps, put batteries in them, and on the way home, since it was over 4 hours coming home, we use battery-operated air pumps. Well, this you could just take with you. Or you can plug it into a USB port that's in your car and run it, where these would need a special adapter to do that. So I thought that was pretty good compared to other pumps where it does. So I'm going to say that that's a pretty good deal, that if you can buy something, as soon as you plug it in, it begins working. If you can buy something like this, this means it's charging. And this will indicate the battery of your charged battery. Lithium-ion battery, I would suspect that if this is a decent pump, it could probably last you as long as one of these pumps, which you could probably get at least 5 years out of it or longer. And the good thing of it is, if you happen to lose the wall wart, you could use one that you have on hand. Apple, this is Samsung, you can use any wall wart you want. And the cable here, you can buy these at Walmart. I did tell the manufacturer they should give longer, definitely give longer cables. This cable is too short. So I just thought I would tell you about it. But it does have some conveniences. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to compare how loud this is and compare it to some of these Tetras. Because these are usually the pumps that people are going to buy and want to use. They're going to buy either this, or this size for their plenum. And the first question everybody asks is, how loud is it? I don't want a loud air pump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it. And first we're going to test the AQQA, then we'll test the Tetra 10, and then we'll test the 10-30. And we'll just see how loud it is. So let's see, just to make sure everything's fair, we'll test the AQQA. We'll make sure that the sound meter is the right distance. We don't want anyone saying, oh, and we'll put it 2 inches away. They're all going to be the same, 2 inches away. And I'll turn the sound meter on. We'll put it at 70 dB. We'll see what happens. $60 dB. So that's at 60 dB. Actually, it's even less than that. So if we take this and we move this away from 2 inches to, let's say, 1 foot, we have about 54 dB at 1 foot. So at 1 foot, this is 54 dB at 1 foot away from it. So let's try the Tetra. First thing I'm going to see is about 2 inches away. Okay, it's over 60 dB. So now we'll put this 1 foot away. So this is the AQQA's 54. You take this, and we're going to find out. This is 50 dB. So the Tetra is 6 dB quieter than the AQQA. Okay, and that's for the 10-30. So let's find out what this one is. We'll put it at about 2 inches away. It's over 60 dB. So they're all over 60 dB, 2 inches away from them. Let's get it about 12 inches away. Let's see what this is going to read. And this is reading about 45 dB. So the small little Tetra is, of course, the quietest of the pumps at 1 foot away, about 45 dB. So that gives you an insight of, this is the quietest. The 2 Tetras are the quietest, and the AQQA is actually louder, and I kind of thought that is louder than the other 2 pumps. You know, it's almost like you'd wish they would get to the point where they would stick on-off switches on their pumps. They would put a little battery in their pumps like this. Why not? The price is the same, so why aren't manufacturers doing it? And it's not that big. These are a little, this one's bigger, bulkier than this. This one is still bigger than this. And this can be, these can't be hung. There's no hooks where you can hang this up on the side of your aquarium cabinet, where these have to be placed on a shelf or something else. So anyhow, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy fish keeping.